Few know the true story as to how the creation of the world of Inuir began, for it is a timeless tale to be told. The true parallels from the dawn of the world's creation to the current era lost the weaving of time streams, and the chaos balancing the order of all of life. Once long ago there lived a group of spellcasters, a species of human that was so powerful, entire gateways to other worlds were forged, mountains were molded into shape, and the very fabric of reality willed into co-creation with these powerful spellcasters. No one knows how they got to the world's continents first, yet scholars speculate that the Drocoolonians fled their previous world and arrived to Inuir at the very beginnings of the world-known history. Long before their time in a world long forgotten, there existed the Drocoolonians. Yet when their power fell into the wrong hands, there they fled and left their home world. The rift torn between time and space, leaving a gate, the realm of shadows, and thus they had to embark on a new journey, one that will take them afar to a new world, one that was not originally their own, rather the primordial chaos of the wellspring of dense fragmentation of magic in its mysterious ways. The Drocoolonians left their world completely, however, without the magical substance that often used to hone their spellcasting and powerful abilities from their home world, vaguely known as floating matter, or magic today. In this new world of Mortliok the wizard was the one who led them safely out of the previous realm afar and into the new year, where they could start over and forge a brand new bright future. Yet with many Drocoolonians having lost their immortality, due to the absence of floating matter, they died off. Mortliok passed away due to aging and natural deterioration of such mortality, and in the coming centuries after his fateful death, there came a new divide in the populace, those who have magic and those without. The group of spellcasters who had magic were known as the Chthonic Empire, and those whose innate gifts had simply left them were known as the Celtic nations. The Chthonic Empire's Drocoolonians created more than a few new species to roam the world of Inuir, that of elves, that of dwarves, and that of giants. From the crossbreeding of elves and dwarves came the gnomes, and due to the Chthonic Empire's magical abilities, new species of bizarre fantastical origins were spawned into existence. Many of these lost thus in time. Many of these were entangled with each generation, far to the present. More centuries came and went. It was an era of peace and stability across the islands of Mortliok, and the very continents made up of Drocoolonians. Then, when all seemed hopeful, war and chaos broke loose across the lands. The era of peace had ended. What was left was a raging battle between the Celtic nations and the Chthonic Empire. The Celtic nations was led by none other than a barbarian by the name and title of Queen Alwara. Queen Alwara and her forces stormed the walls of the Chthonic Empire's capital city. The Celtics, having nearly won the battle, led to the Chthonic Empire's ultimate demise. That is, until the council's leaders fled the palace and journeyed deep within the catacombs. There, the Chthonic Empire's remaining spellcasters prayed to their god Mortliok. Having made the decision to resurrect Mortliok from his death many millennia ago, they conducted a ritual that lasted some time. Yet the ritual went awry, and Lok the Lich King was made into existence. Lok the Lich King, hell-bent and on the verge of destruction, slaughtered the remaining forces of both Celtic and Chthonics alike. He began to raise an army of dead to conquer the lands beyond. Yet meanwhile, far off in distant countryside, Prince Cormoran heard news of his mother, Queen Alwara's death, and thus prepared an army to attack the new Lich, wreaking havoc across the landscape. The war was not successful, so legend has it, Prince Cormoran took a voyage across the ocean to distant lands beyond the known world to gather reinforcements. One such place we saw Drocoolonians. Legendary battle between King Ursa and the young prince took place. Then, having successfully won over the giant king's trust, both giants and the Celtics took a long voyage by sea back to the war-torn territory conquered by Locke and the Lich King. There they traveled far and wide to gather more reinforcements. A group of Fae, known as the Phonemic tribes, Phonemics, Celtics, and the giants under King Ursa attacked the followers of Locke and the Lich King, and successfully, after much hardship, won the war. When Locke the Lich King, headed by Prince Mortliok, died a second time. The Celtics, giants, celebrated the victory. Then the giants went back to the land and saw Drocoolonians. The Celtics reclaimed their lands, allowing the remaining survivors of the Mathonic Empire to take back their territory. As the Phonemic tribes scattered across the lands, some followers of Locke the Lich King decided to regain power. They became the cult of Shirk and Shadow. Whilst that evil was brewing in distant lands unknown to the common populace, nations and kingdoms began to grow forth and spread across Inuir and the islands of Mortliok. Another cultish threat, after Prince Cormoran's death and legendary heroism, spread across the histories of Inuir came to be. A group of followers seeking to summon Queen Alwara. Those beings became known as the Cult of Kalkalawar. The Cult of Shirk and Shadow and the Cult of Kalkalawar did not get along often, and war began to break out across the lands yet again. Queen Alwara, summoned from the realm of shadows back to the world of the living, unhinged by insanity, sought to destroy all magic by way of using magic to a means to an end, to eradicate the spellcasters of all nations and kingdoms across the very islands of Mortliok. To the sudden turn of events, the ally of the Cult of Kalkalawar a mere deceitful empire as the Freynic Empire, which joined forces of the Cult of Kalkalawar in efforts to assassinate Queen Alwara. The assassinated leader of the Freynic Empire at that time was known as Lady Frey. Lady Frey's managed to slay Queen Alwara. Queen Alwara dead and gone, the Freynic Empire had become widespread across the islands of Mortliok. The original intent of the Freynic Empire was to be a temporary nation, merely to thwart Queen Alwara's plans, was long forgotten. Instead, the Freynic Empire devoted the next phase of their existence to kill all magic across the islands of Mortliok, their true history forgotten to the dust of time. Then from the lands of the Freynic Empire came a new merchant kingdom nation known as the Odics. Odics were half Freynic, half Celtic. The Phonemic tribes dwindling in number, the Phonemic nation soon dissipated to merely some beings in the world of Inuir, being simply Phonemic having merged with the other nations. That is how the nations of the islands of Mortliok came to be. Of course, thereafter there came the territories of the Thrashkin fleet and the outlying reaches. Far down below the central islands of Mortliok, there is a desert continent known as Jutaneo. Thus the lands of Inuir and the islands of Mortliok mostly now consist of the Mathonic Empire, the Celtic nations, the Freynic Empire, Odic kingdoms, Jutaneo, the outlying reaches, Thrashkin fleet, and the Gazinic wastes, which the Gazinic wastes is perhaps a tale to be told at another time.